10 Things You Didn't Know About the Rothschild Family. Mayer Amschel Rothschild, 1744 to 1812, a court factor to the German landgraves of Hesse and Kassel in the Free City of Frankfurt, Holy Roman Empire, who launched his banking firm in the 1760s, brought the Rothschild family, a wealthy Ashkenazi Jewish family, to international prominence. Through his 5 sons who founded companies in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples, Rothschild managed to pass on his riches and create an international banking family, in contrast to most previous court figures. Hello everyone and welcome back to Lux Life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on the world's richest personalities and their lifestyle. With that being said, let's get started. In both the Holy Roman Empire and the United Kingdom, the family was elevated to noble status. The family's earliest known history comes from Frankfurt in the 16th century, where Isaac Elkanan Baskarich constructed the Rothschild family home. So what made this family so famous? Are such families royal enough? How does the country treat them? The Rothschild family held the largest private fortune in both modern and world history throughout the 19th century. Over the 20th century, the family's wealth decreased and was dispersed among numerous successors. These days, they have interests in a wide variety of industries such as real estate, mining, energy, agriculture, winemaking, and NGOs. Northwest Europe is home to several instances of the family's rural architecture. Conspiracy theories about the Rothschild family are common, and many of them have anti-Semitic roots. Number 1. Money to lend to money to gain. The Rothschild family wealth exceeds $500 billion. As of Forbes, a prosperous Ashkenazi Jewish family with Frankfurt roots, the Rothschilds. Rothschild is closely connected to other billionaires including George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bloomberg. Despite being Jews, the Rothschild family is also a member of Pope Francis' inner circle at the Vatican. The fortune of the Rothschild family is derived from a variety of companies, including financial services, energy, mining, and real estate, among others. Over 1,800 real estate assets belonging to the Rothschild family are dispersed across Germany, France, England, and other European nations. All of these assets are worth more than $36 billion in total. More than 55 luxury yachts, 10 private jets, and 13 luxury hotels are also part of the Rothschild family's riches. The Rothschild family owns a sizable cash reserve of more than $70 billion, which is securely stored within the family's banks. The Rothschild family holds ownership in every major corporation in the world, both directly and indirectly. The Rothschild family has a $100 billion fund available for investments in major stock exchanges such as the Tokyo Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, and New York Stock Exchange. Watch Rockefeller's family's wealth secrets, I say. Over $20 billion in US dollars, $6 billion in Japanese yen, and $33 billion in euros make up the Rothschild family's reserve. The following is a list of the Rothschild family's most prominent stocks: Meta, Facebook, Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, Amazon, Visa, and Starbucks, Bloomberg, Qualcomm, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, PepsiCo, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Hewlett-Packard. Number 2. Nobility. Despite being Jewish, the Rothschild family has given the most to the Vatican in the last year. The Rothschild family has made a staggering $5 billion donation to the Vatican and has also paid for Pope Francis' travel expenses. Number 3. A little bit of scandal. For 160 years, the Rothschild family has been producing wine. The Rothschild family currently owns numerous wine properties in South Africa, Australia, South America, France, and Italy. The Rothschild family also serves as the Vatican Church's official wine supplier. They do not collect a fee and offer the wine at no cost. Through direct and indirect means, the Rothschild family has direct and indirect influence over more than 70% of all wines marketed in Europe. Through the selling of wine, the Rothschild family made more than $16 billion in the previous year. More than 25 banks and investment enterprises are under the control of the Rothschild family globally. In 8 of the top 10 largest financial institutions in the world, Rothschild has equity stakes. The majority of NM Rothschild & Sons business is serving as a mergers and acquisition advisor. The Rothschild family owns and governs the financial holding company Paris Orleans S.A. The Rothschild family also owns Rabobank Group, the top investment and private banks in the Netherlands. The early 19th century independence of Brazil from Portugal was directly influenced by the Rothschild family's dominance over banks. Number 4. Humble and kind. From the slums of Frankfurt's Jewish ghetto in the 18th century, the Rothschild empire appeared to grow overnight. Mayer Amschel Rothschild was formerly a coin dealer who in an instant rose to become the leader of the richest family in the world, with his 5 sons running the family's financial affairs in London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. According to historical calculations, they were significantly wealthier than any modern dynasty, even the Saudi royal family. The Rothschild family's current generation largely avoids the spotlight. Many conspiracy theorists contend that the family rules the entire globe from behind the scenes as a result of their secrecy. The immense interests the Rothschild family has in banking, real estate, art, and sheer power, according to some, have made them worth trillions of dollars today. Some go so far as to assert that the Rothschild are the leaders of a new world order that governs the global financial system, was responsible for the 9/11 attacks, provided funding for the communist revolution, and controls 99% of news and media organizations worldwide. Keep it in the family. The Rothschilds are not even included in the Forbes rich list. That's because, over the past 200 years, hundreds of their heirs have shared their great wealth. Family's wealth is, however, estimated to be between $350 billion and $1 trillion. Many members of the Rothschild family are very wealthy individuals. The value of British financiers Sir Evelyn de Rothschild and Jacob Rothschild is $20 billion and $5 billion, respectively. Austrian Emperor Francis I designated the 5 sons of Mayer Rothschild as hereditary noble members of the Austrian aristocracy. This title was awarded to the 4 of the brothers in 1816 and the 5th in 1818. The Austrian counterpart of the title of Baron was bestowed to Amschel Mayer, Solomon Mayer, Nathan Mayer, Kalman Mayer, and Jacob Mayer in 1822. For this reason, some family members go by the name de Rothschild or von Rothschild. The prefix denotes a noble person. Number 6. War comes with a price. The Napoleonic Wars started in 1803 and lasted 12 years across Europe before coming to a close in 1815. In 1813, the Rothschild family stepped in to help defeat Napoleon after Nathan Rothschild realized the conflict posed a threat to the family's business methods. Although he chose not to put on armor and fight alongside the enemy, he was the most significant figure in terms of funding England's war efforts. It is believed that he spent $10 million, or almost $1 billion today, to end the war in 1815 alone. The outcome of the Battle of Waterloo had the potential to make or break Nathan financially. According to a long-standing urban legend, he was the first to learn of the British Army's victory. He had founded England's army, therefore it is stated that when he heard this good news, he was aghast. Now, how did he act? Number 7. Victim of wars. To deceive others into believing that Britain had lost the battle, Nathan Rothschild went out and sold stock. When things calmed down, he instructed his agents to go out and repurchase that stock as well as others at a discount, making the family's day extremely profitable. You can now understand how the conspiracy theories have been around for more than a century, given how many things the Rothschild family was involved in. The Rothschild were the family to turn to in the 19th century whenever someone, something, or some cause needed a significant amount of money. Number 8. Suez Canal 1859 and 1869. The Suez Canal, which links the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea and is important for trade between Asia and Europe, is one illustration of this. The canal and England's decision to purchase shares in it were primarily supported by the Rothschild family. Also in 1820, the Rothschild family participated in Brazil's attempt to gain independence. Number 9. There's gold. A run on gold in 1825 that resulted in an economic catastrophe and the failure of 145 banks was stopped by Rothschild by saving the Bank of England. As the bank's authorized gold broker, Rothschild sent 10 million euros worth of gold to the institution. Up until 1967, Rothschild produced gold bars for more than a century. The Royal Mint is likewise owned and run by it. When the U.S. government's gold reserves dropped to what were considered to be dangerously low levels by the turn of the 20th century, Rothschild had twice stepped in to save the day. And at number 10, wasn't that a party? Chateau de Férias, which is reputed to be the largest and most opulent chateau in France from the 19th century, served as both their house and the location of their now mythical Surrealist ball. When Guy's ancestor, Baron James de Rothschild, visited his cousin's magnificent Mentmore Towers in Buckinghamshire, he requested that Joseph Paxton build me a Mentmore but double the size. Ferrières has a 120-foot central hall, Atlas columns, caryatid sculptures by Charles Cordier, a library with more than 8,000 books, a neo-Renaissance Italian garden, and 30 square kilometers of forest. And so we come to December 12, 1972, the year of Marie-Anne Herlin's surrealist masterwork and the night of Louis Boull's The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeois. Black tie, long gowns, and surrealism heads were the cryptic dress code on the invitations, which had to be viewed in a mirror due to the instructions being spelled backwards. So, what are your views on all of this? Aren't they the wealthiest family, and do they believe in charity? Well, this brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed watching, do like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful content from us, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.